Welcome inside Marcus Pavilion on the campus of St. Martin's University. Sean Wally and Scott Gladstone here as we get set for a big early season conference matchup here in the GNAC. Western Washington Vikings visiting the St. Martin Saints.
Yeah, this matchup has me absolutely salivating. It's going to be a great one all night, and a big reason why is because of the scoring.
Both teams undefeated in conference play early in the season, and Western Washington, as their guards go, so go the Vikings.
Yeah, I mean, there is a trio of guards on this Western Washington squad: D'Angelo Minnis, Daniel Hornbuckle, and Kai Johnson, who's actually from this area, which is going to be an interesting storyline that we'll talk more about throughout the night. But those three guards, they're the leading scorers, and, you know, a big reason why these are two of the top offensive teams in the country, not just the conference, is because those guys can score from all parts of the court, but specifically from behind the three-point arc. They'll shoot a lot of three-pointers, so will the Saints. But both teams will make a lot of threes, too. And if they're on their game, I mean, we could see triple digits on both sides of the scoreboard tonight.
Minnis shooting over 50% from beyond the arc, and Hornbuckle, 93 attempts. That's crazy.
Yeah. I mean, they like to put it up. I was watching shoot-around today, and a good chunk of that was dedicated to shooting three-pointers.
Speaking of scoring and threes, the other side, the home team, St. Martin Saints, Brandon Bunn was on fire in the second half in Thursday night's victory.
Yeah, he kind of was up and down in that first half, only had 5 points, and, you know, did a good job kind of managing the offense. But in that second half against Simon Frazier, something lit a fire. He kind of got into a little chirping back and forth. Next thing you know, I mean, it was a man amongst boys, and he was just scoring from all levels again. And then when everybody was coming to him on the help, he had that beautiful no-look that I keep replaying in my head, a beautiful dish where he was looking the opposite way and just dumped it to a wide-open layup to Kyle Greeley. I mean, when he is on, he is one of, if not the hardest player in the conference to stop. And that's the question. There's three guards on this Western Washington team that can play great on offense. The defense, well, the reason why Western Washington isn't in the top 25 with the fourth best offense in the country is because sometimes they allow a lot of points. And so that's going to be the big question. How can those three players contribute on the defensive end as well, especially with a guy like Brandon Bunn that is just unrelenting?
If you like offense, if you like scoring, this is the place to be. Thank you for tuning in on the Saints Digital Network. We'll get you downstairs for starting lineups and the tip right after this on the Saints Digital Network.
And a 6'80 redshirt freshman, number 23, P.J. Collins. Tony Dominguez, his 11th season as their head coach, assisted by David Dunham, Bob Hostetter, and A.J.L. Albright. And now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time to get on your feet to meet the Saints. A 6'2 senior from the Bronx, New York, number 0, and
We are set for tip here inside Marcus Pavilion. Sean Wally with Scott Gladstone. 2 undefeateds in GNAC play. Let's get it on.
I'm
Scott.
excited for this one. This one has been circled on the calendar since early going when we knew how good Western Washington was going to be. It was confirmed to us how good St. Martin's was going to be. And, man, this is going to be a contest after a rare tip-off out of bounds there.
Goes to the Saints. Not a second ticked off when the tip went out of bounds. And now we have another, I guess the first turnover. Saints out of bounds. Viking basketball. Daniel Hornbuckle across half court. Kai Johnson. Outside, D'Angelo Menace, the Rocket. Good rotation, and the three is good. Over 53% on the season.
Yeah, and that's getting it over the long wingspan of Nathaniel Stokes. Tough shot.
Stokes, top of the key. Then down low, Al Sindor. Left side of the lane, the little sky hook, too strong. Rebound to B.J. Colley. Vikings up 3. Another 3, this one very short and missed by Ned. Colley has the rebound on the block. Outside, it's Hornbuckle. Right back to Ned, will try again, short again. Back comes St. Martin's looking for their first points. Skinny across half court, Bunn for 3. Tie ball game.
Yeah, well, 2 made buckets, and it's exactly what you're going to see a lot of tonight. 3-pointer from everybody on the court really can hit a 3-pointer for both sides. I haven't seen Shaquem hit a 3-pointer, so that's the one exception, but there's a lot of 3-point shooting.
Ned, the jumper off back iron. Greeley across half court. Skinny in front of the Viking bench. The big man Al Sindor underneath, uses the window. Saints up 5-3.
Yeah, and they're starting off with number 13, Jonathan Ned, on Shaquem Al-Cinder. Shaquem has a few pounds on him, and I know that that's a matchup to watch down low. We mentioned the guard play, but there isn't a true center on this Western Washington squad that starts.
Kai Johnson, his 3 is short.
Yeah, and just finishing up my thought there, I mean Shaquem Al-Cinder is a true center, and so finding a matchup for him is going to be a key for head coach Tony Dominguez.
Greeley the miss, Colley the rebounds. No problem taking it across half court. Ned to Colley, off window, we're tied at 5.
Yeah, that's the thing, though, not having a true center can have. You have guys that can spread the floor.
Brandon Bunn dials long distance, 8-5. How many threes already? 3. Lots attempted by Western Washington for sure.
Yeah, I mean, shooting percentage usually decides the game, but even more so today, it'll decide this one.
Colley, using his size and strength, misses the shot. Kai Johnson can't control it. Al Sindor hits the deck. Skinny to Stokes. Stokes for 3. Surprise, another 3. Kai Johnson coming home. Went to Olympia High School. No charge called. As we have a Saint player down, that is Skinny. Nielsen Skinner. And he is hurt.
Yeah, I mean, Aaron Landon's up, and for good reason. I mean, Skinny had his feet set pretty much at the 3-point line. I guess what they're saying is there just wasn't enough contact initiated. But nevertheless, especially after you release the ball there, you have to control yourself and not go through a guy. And it's a dangerous play. And Skinny would be hurt whether there was a foul call or not, but it definitely feels a lot better if you get a foul call to go on your way when you hit the deck like that.
Aaron Landon talking to the officials right now, not understanding how there was not a charge called there, as Skinny was outside the restricted area, just got ran into. I don't know if he took a knee.
Yeah. I think it's just one of those hard falls, those bruises, that you definitely feel it, and he's definitely just kind of walking it off right now, but he shook off the trainer, Isaac Tompkins, for the most part. But we do see Tyke Thompson check-in today. He was out sick on Thursday, kind of on limited minutes today, but he is a key player for the Saints for sure.
1 point lead. Bunn for three. Short. Rebound to Daniel Hornbuckle.
That was a heat check from Bunn. We've already seen 2 threes from him in the early going.
Vikings down low. Kick it outside. Johnson now. Johnson in the lane. Finds Menace in front of the Saints bench. He'll fire from anywhere and does. That three short. Battle for the basketball. Out of bounds. Last touch by B.J. Colley. Saints take over.
Yeah, that Hornbuckle three right there, you know, that's one where I'm sure Coach Tony Dominguez endorses his players to take shots when they feel like they're open and they can make it. But when you don't make that one, it's not a good look. It's not a good look. It's a tough one for a coach to swallow when you shoot it from, you know, right in front of the scorer's table and come up empty.
4 minutes gone by. Saints by 1. 6 to shoot. Bunn outside. Another three. Sipe knocks it down. 11-7 St. Martin's.
Yeah, Hunter Sipe. I mean, we saw the three ball ability that he had last time out, man. He is just one of those players that has a little bit of everything when he steps on the floor.
Double team in the corner. Little jump hook is short. The miss by Ned. Greeley the other way. Thompson for three.
Yeah, and that's what they missed on Thursday. The 3-pointers, man. I tell you what, it makes us look really smart when we could say there's going to be a lot of threes today, and what do you get? You get a lot of threes.
Lots.
4 already by the Saints.
And lots of three attempts, let alone makes. Hornbuckle directing traffic. 5 minutes gone by in half number 1. 2 20-minute halves. Hornbuckle, catch, shoot, money.
Yeah, they can make tough shots. Nobody's going to argue with that one. Man, that was a hand in his face. Still able to rattle it home.
Brandon Bunn had 23 on Thursday night in the victory. Another three-pointer. Holy smokes.
And he was getting tight defense from D'Angelo Menace there. A lot of contact initiated, a lot of bump in there, and then he turns around and right after he makes it, he just stared down Menace and said, "You can guard me as tight as you want. I'm still going to make some tough shots."
Hornbuckle from about 25 feet. Are you kidding me?
I mean, there's about 9 or 10 D2 Steph Currys on the floor right now. This is ridiculous.
Stokes wants in on the party. His shot short. We have a foul on the floor. Daniel Hornbuckle hit with the foul. 14:04 left in a furious first half. 17-13 Saints. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. .04 left in the first half. Sean Wally with Scott Gladstone after the timeout. Saints basketball, they're up 4, 17-13. Here inside Marcus Pavilion on Twin Star Credit Union Court. Bunn to Stokes. Stops, double teamed. The up and under, and somehow the bank is open.
What? What was that? I mean, that was ridiculous with his left hand putting it off glass. That's great from Stokes.
Hornbuckle in the corner, outside to Menace. Menace all the way across court. Holden for three. We could just put three on replay, on repeats.
Yeah. Start Googling your thesaurus.
Other
Other ways to say three.
A rejection by Nick Velp.
I might just pull up Google Translate in just every different language. How do you say three in, how do you say three in Slovakian? How do you say?
Absolutely.
Because that's what we're going to have to do tonight because our brains, we're going to be dreaming of threes.
I got us covered in German.
Drei.
Yes,
Yeah?
sir.
Yeah? Okay, I took German.
Bunn off the screen from Alcindor. Working on Velp. Outside, of course, another three. The miss from Hunter Sipe. The Vikings across half court. 7 minutes gone by in half number one here in Lacey, Washington. The nice bounce pass down low. Kai Johnson, the and one opportunity.
Yeah, and that's a 3-point play right there.
There you go.
Even when they're shooting
Zing.
within the arc, still, a 3-point lead isn't safe. And I mean, just in general, with the way these two teams score, no lead is going to be safe tonight. So everybody listening better buckle up for the next hour and a half because even if it gets to 10, 20, whatever, flash of an eye, it can be erased.
Vikings on a mini run, looking to tie the game with this free throw from the Olympia, Washington native, and Johnson does. The Kai Johnson cheering section just below our broadcast position. 19 apiece. Looks like Skinny's just fine. He is back out there. Thompson in front of the Vikings bench. Hafner to Alcindor, 10 to shoot. Alcindor, the jump hook, short. Rebound to Western Washington, ahead to Menace. Menace to Hornbuckle. Outside, Lucas Holden, back to Menace. Holden thought about another three. Looking for Velp. Wouldn't surprise me if Hornbuckle fired from near half court. Daniel. 5 to shoot. Velp has it inside. Holden, the jumper, down. 21-19, Vikings in front.
It's a tough shot. It's a tough shot over Shaquem Alcindor. Got it to go.
Anything not a three is tough for these teams, right?
Yeah.
Tyke Thompson in the lane. The fadeaway rattles just off. Battle for the basketball. And it is going the way of Western Washington.
Yeah, that was nearly an equally tough shot. I mean, more tough, I would say, from Tyke Thompson there. Almost got that one to go in. That would have been incredible.
11:46 left in half number one. Vikings 21, Saints 19. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. Sean Wally back here with Scott Gladstone. Inside Marcus Pavilion after the timeout. Vikings by 2 with the basketball. It's been a barrage of three-pointers as we expected. Daniel Hornbuckle with the basketball to Menace. Menace, the nice pass. The block by Alcindor. Kai Johnson gets rejected. Alcindor getting rewarded on the other end. but a jump ball called, Viking possession.
Oh, my. I mean, I saw what happened on the offense side of the court, but that block from Shaquem Alcindor, oh, my word. That was a momentum play one way or the other. It was either a poster or a block, but that's what having a true center to guard the bucket can do when you have a guy like Shaquem Alcindor standing in there.
Holden, top of the key to Johnson. Nick Velp, turnaround jumper, off back iron, rebound to Thompson and the Saints. 9 minutes gone by in the half. Thompson picks up the dribble. Skinny from the logo near midcourt. 10:45 left in the half. Looking for Alcindor. The hook is short, but he's fouled. Shaquem to the line.
Yeah, we've seen them trying to get the ball into Shaquem a couple different times, and he's been given a long leash to go for it and just pull out a post move. He loves that sky hook. For those Western Washington fans tuning in, that's what Shaquem will go to a lot. But just in general, he has size and he has strength out there. There's not a lot of guys in this conference that can move him more than he can move them. And, you see him getting a foul there.
Nick Velp hit with the foul. 2 fouls on each side. Kai Johnson checks out for the Vikings. Isaac Morrow into the game. Alcindor to tie the ball game, and he does.
I love it when a post, especially when a true center, goes 2 for 2 from the line.
He can teach Shaq a thing or two, huh?
I know.
Nick Velp, baseline. Cross court, Minnis. He's so quick. The Rocket down low, looking for Velp. Ball loose, out of bounds. Left touched by St. Martin's.
We saw a couple of those in the women's game right before this where the ball is just right around that out-of-bounds line on the baseline, and it's so hard to tell when bodies are flying who's it last off of. But that's just a Hunter Sight play, flying around trying to make a play, and instead it goes off him.
Velp for 3. That is short. Thompson the rebound. Skinny racing up the floor. Had Sipe, didn't get it to him. Skinny in the lane. He's taking it all by himself, but the tip there by who else? Hunter Sipe.
Hunter Sipe. I mean, that was great, and that's what hustle gets you. It gets you a rebound. This is nearly over and back, but it gets you a rebound and gets you some points right there. But Aaron Landon says it all the time about Hunter Sipe. He does a lot of things that don't show up on the stat sheet. That one did.
Minnis looking for Velp on the block. One dribbling up, and he is hammered. Tyke Thompson be hit with the foul. 9:46 left in half number 1. Saints by 2. Velp a chance to tie the game. Velp, the 6'9" sophomore out of Seattle, Washington, hits the first free throw.
I'm guessing recent lineage, though, in Germany or somewhere in Europe with the W turning into a V, though. A lot of those names seem to turn into W's at some point.
Champ Spencer into the game for the Saints as Velp misses the second. Gary in for Western Washington. Minnis and Hornbuckle check out. Nielsen Skinner showing his ball handling skills, and he can make a bucket as well.
Yeah,
25,
exactly.
22.
You get the 6'6", 220 Isaac Morrow switched on you, you just dribble him out of his shoes.
Ball out of bounds off the Holden miss. Saints take over, up 3.
Yeah, we're seeing a fair amount of switches from Western Washington who've been in man-to-man, I'm pretty sure, this whole game. Fair amount of switches, and right here, nobody's on Champ Spencer.
Spencer dials long distance, no, but the rebound and putback by Hunter Sipe. 5-point lead for the Saints.
That's all in the box out from Hunter Sipe. That's strength and just proper technique. It's clean. You get good position, you get that rebound, you get an easy putback.
Holden, good vision to find Velp. Down low, strong move, no. Ball loose. Thompson grabs it. Skinny ahead, running the floor is Spencer. He is fouled and will head to the line.
Yeah, Western Washington wanted to travel there, and then they didn't want that foul. That's kind of the the double against you there that they're not happy about.
Vikings head coach Tony Dominguez in the ear of an official, not liking what call he did or didn't get down on that end. Spencer rattles home the first free throw. The 6'7" sophomore out of Sumner, Washington.
Jim Spencer, another guy kind of like Hunter Sipe. He gets X amount of minutes. He probably won't want more on a lot of different D2 teams. He'd probably get more, but he puts his head down. He does his job. He makes big shots, and 2 for 2 from the free throw line. Another time we get to see it, and something I love.
Largest lead of the game, 7 for St. Martin's. 8:45 and counting first half. Kai Johnson driving the right side of the lane. Outside, a 3 on the way. Morrow off back iron. Battle for the rebound. Vikings get it. Put back missed. Ball volleyed around, and Skinny comes away with it. Another 3 on the way. Sipe cannot connect. Offensive rebound. Sipe gets it right back. His putback off the glass. Back comes Western Washington. They trail by 7. Kai Johnson using the left side, left hand. Dribble in the lane. He's fouled. 8:13 left in the half. Johnson to the line.
Yeah, and Kai Johnson, I mean, he's such an interesting story. You mentioned it earlier. He's an Olympia native. He grew up just down the road from here. The thing is kind of largely unrecruited by a lot of D2 schools in the area. He went to Western Washington. Obviously, it's an affordable state school. Went to there and tried to walk onto the team. Did that successfully. Next thing you know, he's one of the best guards in the conference. And, Aaron Landon, he's bummed that he didn't pick up on it. He couldn't see that potential. But at the same time, he was a walk-on at Western Washington. And, he wasn't offered a scholarship right away by Tony Dominguez. But that's one of the fortuitous things about having an affordable state school. You get guys who walk in the door, you try them out, and you say, oh, man, this Kai Johnson guy can ball. And that he does.
The former Olympia Bear. Johnson hits the second free throw. It's a 6-point ball game. 8 minutes left in the half. Spencer for 3. That's short. Daniel Hornbuckle back in the game. He had the rebound, and now a foul is going to be called on Hafner.
That was weird how that was called by the referee. He called it like a technical, kind of. He called it like,
very stern.
Knock that off. Yeah, that's a foul on you. You know it. When, I don't know. Maybe it was a foul, maybe it wasn't. It was a weird demeanor on the call.
7:56 left in the first half. 29-23 Saints. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. .56 left in a furious, fast-paced first half. Sean Wally with Scott Gladstone. Vikings with the ball down 6. Attacking the rack. Strong with the layup, B.J. Colley. Saints up 4, looking to answer, and we've got a foul down low. Foul on BJ.
Yeah, I think it's BJ Colley there. I think our PA announcer is in the wrong and we're in the right. I think it's Colley. That's what Aaron Landon said when he was talking about him earlier today. He thinks Colley is the freshman of the year. in the conference. He said he's been absolutely outstanding. A lot of great things to say about him, and obviously somebody they want to deal with today.
Look at Skinny. Doesn't have the size advantage there by any means. Another three on the way. Missed with the offensive rebound to St. Martin's for yet another three. That's missed by Sipe. Speaking of Colley, look at him run the floor, taking everybody to task. And they're going to say he just lost it out of bounds. No foul called.
Yeah, Skinny just kind of did the bullfighter right there. He said, I'm going to step up and play defense on you. And then, oh, you have almost 100 pounds on me. Maybe I'll kind of just get out of the way and give you the space that you want. And Colley was expecting more contact there. And that's why you see him, like a bull running into the cape. Just got the rug pulled out from under him and lost it.
7:05 and counting as Skinny walks across half court. Saints up 4. They've been up as many as 7. Another three that's going to be nothing but the bottom of the net for Christian Hafner. 32-25, St. Martin's, 6:40 and counting. D'Angelo Menace. The dribble, the jumper, he's fouled, and the Rocket will head to the line.
Yeah, that was a situation where Skinny was trying to fight through the screen there and contest the shot. The thing is Minish kind of shoots out his feet a little bit when he's shooting there, and so right where the legs of Skinny were going as that shot was happening, that's right where Minish kind of kicked out, and he just knocked him off balance.
Menace hits the first. Ned returns for Western Washington. Gary to the bench. Menace hits the second free throw. 32-27, St. Martin's.
This is the 203rd meeting all time between these two Western Washington foes.
Is that all?
Yeah.
Ball nearly stolen by Hornbuckle. All alone, Greeley. Somehow that shot not blocked, but Greeley is fouled.
Yeah, he didn't block the ball, but he definitely got a piece of Kyle Greeley on the follow through. That was coming in, and BJ Colley, it's one of those sellout blocks where you kind of realize if you get the ball, it's going to be clean and it's going to be a heck of a highlight. If you whiff on the ball, you're probably going to send him to the line.
Greeley, the 6'5 junior out of Salem, Oregon, by way of Portland State. First free throw good, to the delight of the Saints faithful. Good crowd here inside Marcus Pavilion. You can't really tell because they're mostly below the camera. But a lot of people in the general admission section below us.
Yeah. I mean, and this is something too. There's no student section, and this is the biggest crowd that I've seen in my time here, which just involves this season. But a lot of people know the stakes of this game as there's a turnover.
Miscommunication by Ned and Johnson, turning it back to St. Martin's with 6 minutes left in the half. 34-27 Saints. Skinny slowly walks across half court, left-hand dribble. Now between the legs. Finds Spencer. Now Christian Hafner. Greeley, left-hand dribble, side of the lane. Now the fadeaway is short. Stokes, back to Greeley. Stokes showing no signs of the possible ankle injury he had Thursday night. The up and under, left side, no. Stokes saves it to Skinny.
Ooh. Took about 12 steps there, it looked like.
It was a quick shot by Hafner. I'm not sure if he didn't know that the shot clock was reset or not. Menace to Colley. Colley in the lane, strong, off back iron.
That's really great defense from Kyle Greeley there on a much bigger Colley, and now he's matched up against him on the other side.
Greeley fade away again. No. Kai Johnson to Menace, open for three. Good. 4-point ball game. .440 and counting. Ball poked away by Menace, goes out of bounds. Menace wants it to be Viking ball. Official does not agree.
Yeah, and it's always fun seeing after close plays like that. Of course, they're going to look at the ref a lot, but the person who usually gets the call to go in their favor, they'll look at the person who's complaining to the ref, and it's kind of this fun dynamic. Christian Hafner, you know, I don't see him talk a ton of smack, but you know, he was getting pretty animated into it, and it's you know, it's fun because this is really, especially in men's basketball, this is a rivalry between two schools that constantly contend for this GNAC crown. And I mentioned it, 203 matchups. There's a lot of history between these two schools that are separated by 2.5 hours of, well, depending on traffic, as you know, 2.5 hours the interstate.
Yes. Yes, I do know that trek well to Bellingham. I'll be making it in March, though.
Yep. Our voice of the GNAC tournament once again. And this is a matchup. We're going to see it again in Bellingham, obviously, for the second time they play the scheduled one,
the regular season.
But then,
yes.
This is clearly with MSUB being in there. For those who kind of know the dynamic of the GNAC, it is, you know, these two and the Yellow Jackets.
Greeley, his shot rejected by Johnson. Saints recover. Greeley again wants the foul, doesn't get it. Vikings the other way. Hornbuckle stops for three, short. Ball bounces off the rim. Vikings recover. 4:05 and counting here in the first half. One dribble. Minnis to Holden. That three won't go. Battle for the basketball. Foul is called. It will be Saints basketball, I believe.
I think they called that on
it's
Greeley.
on. It is on Greeley. Wow.
I thought that could have gone either way. I thought it was a fair fight.
3:57 left. Timeout on the floor. Saints 34, Vikings 30. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. .357 left in a wacky, fun, crazy first half inside Marcus Pavilion. Sean Wiley, Scott Gladstone, the two of, I believe, three teams undefeated in GNAC play, Western Washington and St. Martin's. Of course, Montana State Billings have yet to lose in conference, and they'll have something to say as we move forward in the conference season in 2023. Hope you all have a safe and happy new year. Nice little pre-funk basketball party here at St. Martin's. The back end of a doubleheader. 34-32 after the free throws. Saints the other way. Stokes in front of the Viking bench. Picks up the dribble. Down low for Alcindor. On the right block, going baseline. The double team, shot short. Ball out of bounds, last touched by Brandon Bunn, I believe. Viking ball.
Yeah, he took an elbow to the top of the head there, too. You mentioned the rest of the GNAC schedule earlier today. MSUB did stay undefeated, played a defensive struggle with Northwest Nazarene beating 54-48, and Western Oregon beat Simon Fraser down in Monmouth.
Johnson left alone, shoots the jumper, won't go. He can't get the rebound, but Skinny can. Left-hand dribble at the three-point line. Steps back. Down low, Alcindor using his size. Shot Off the right side of the rim. Rebound to the Vikings. Menace across half court. Long three on the way. Jonathan Ned. Vikings back in front after the Saints had the lead majority of that midsection of the first half. Speechless?
Yeah, I mean,
what do you do?
I told you, it could be a 10-point lead and it'll feel like a one-possession game today.
Bunn and Menace, two of the better guards in the conference, getting a little scrappy there. Menace fouling Brandon Bunn.
Yeah, I mentioned it in the 18-point second half that he had. It was ignited by a little bit of chirping going on. Brandon Bunn, he's from the Bronx. He's from New York City. He probably had a basketball in his hand when he was, as soon as he could walk, or maybe even before, and that's what you get. There's a lot of basketball, and, the more talking it gets, the better you get.
He's got to have dribbled at Rucker Park, right?
Yeah, I mean, you're right?
2:35 left. Saints back in front by one. Should be a seesaw back and forth battle until there's all zeros on the clock in the second half. Menace from 15. No, but he is fouled as he hits Twin Star Credit Union court.
Yeah, and that's one where, sometimes we see that get called as a flop. I mean, I feel like stuff like that would get seen as a flop where it's kind of those 50-50s. If there's some contact, sometimes we call it a foul, and sometimes if you go down like that where you get contact but it's quote-unquote not enough, then we call it a flop. And it's one of those that, I've definitely seen it get called the other way. And, we got a 1-point Western Washington lead. Good job making both the free throws for Menace.
Menace has a high of 25 on the season. He's done it twice. Vikings back up by one. 2:15 left in the first half. Skinner to Stokes. Stokes in the lane. Right hand is good.
Yeah, we don't see a lot of true post moves from Nathaniel Stokes as he is kind of that more flex forward. You'll see him out on the wing a lot more. But that was a heck of a move, getting a little bit of a switch and a mismatch and taking advantage of it to give the Saints back the lead.
Saints up one. Hornbuckle from the parking lot. Good night.
It's a cheat code. It's somebody adjusted the sliders. This is ridiculous.
Nielsen Skinner stops in the lane. Outside to Bunn. Bunn, you going to fire from 30? Not this time. Go strong with the left hand. Under the rim. What a layup, Brandon Bunn. We're tied at 40.
Well, I thought he was going to go to the left side there. Somehow he got his body to the right side and put it in. That was incredible.
Ned, baseline. Charge will be called, and it is. Stokes holding his ground.
Yeah, that was two D1 transfers right on top of each other. A guy that's put in time at Coppin State and Bryant in Nathaniel Stokes, and right on the other side, a guy that's played at a Power 5, an SEC school, the University of Georgia, in Ned. And, a lot of reason you get to that level. There's a lot of good ball players. There's a lot of guys with size and strength. But, it's a lot about smarts. It's a lot about basketball IQ. And you see Nathaniel Stokes right there getting to the spot, realizing that Ned had a head of steam, and taking advantage of it for the charge and the turnover.
1:09 left in the first half. We're tied at 40. Officials mopping up the floor. The delay in the inbounds, but here we go. Greeley to Stokes. Thought about the three. Out to Greeley. He'll take the three and hit it.
Yes, sir.
No surprise there. 3-pointers galore here this early evening. 45 seconds to go. Saints by 3. Who's putting their money on a 3-pointer?
There will be one attempted. I can almost guarantee it. And the further away from the bucket it is, the higher percentage it feels like.
Holden. Ned. Jumper is good.
Jinxed it.
1-point ball game. Saints up with 25 left. Shot clock is off. Can the Saints take the lead to the locker room? Good menace. Hard pressing that defense on Skinny. Stokes thought about the screen, now he'll come back. 5 seconds left in the half. Bunn, he'll fire from deep, most likely. 2 to shoot. Bunn gets a 3 off, and it's short. We began the game with threes. We end the half with a 3. After 20 minutes of play, St. Martin's a 1-point lead over Western Washington.
Yeah, and I don't know if people can fully hear kind of the crowd. You know, it's a 1-point game. Anything can happen in the second half, so neither side is thrilled about what their team did in the first half, but I think the applause that you got around the stadium was people saying, man, we saw this game circled on the calendar, and we got what we came and paid for. This is a ball game between two teams that don't want to let the other one stay undefeated in conference. I mean, it just comes down to that. Anytime one team looks like they're getting momentum, smart plays, big shots, that's how you counter that, and they've done it to perfection, both sides.
Halftime here in Lacey. Teams are in the locker room, and we will also catch our breath, regroup, be back in about 13 minutes as we get you some numbers and set for half number 2. After 20 minutes, St. Martin's 43, Western Washington 42. Back in a bit on the Saints Digital Network. Back here inside Marcus Pavilion in Lacey, Washington, Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone, the Western Washington Vikings, and the St. Martin Saints as we get set for half number 2. After 20 minutes, the hometown Saints up 43-42. And Scott, just, 1 or 2 threes shot in the first half, huh?
Yeah, I mean, it's where St. Martin's put up over 53 pointers. But the thing is, that one, they were just a lot quicker than Evergreen. They were They were getting a lot of open looks, period, so they were flinging a lot up. This one, I mean, these guys are equally quick. They're on each other like glue. They're just finding a little bit of space, taking it, and you see those 7 3-pointers apiece, led by Daniel Hornbuckle on one side, Brandon Bunn on the other side, 2 guards that, like this game, are as advertised. They're star quality players. They make tough shots. They get open. They fly around. There's just not a lot of wiggle room between these two sides.
Talk about how even these teams are record-wise, and in this game, each team, as you said, 7 3-pointers made, 13 field goals for the Vikings, 14 field goals for the Saints. Mano a mano.
Yeah, and the difference right now, I mean, it comes down to offensive rebounding. Offensive rebounding, that's one of those stats that there's hustle put into it, there's positioning put into it, of course there's size and strength put into it, but the offensive rebounding has been a little bit of an edge to St. Martin's, and even though they're shooting a worse percentage, they are better on the offensive glass, and free throws as well. That's another fundamental that both of these teams have down well.
Saints 8 of 8 from the free throw line. Vikings have missed 2. They're 9 of 11. And there you go, a 1-point lead for St. Martin's as we get set for second half action. Thanks for tuning in on this New Year's Eve as you get set for some kind of fun after this one. We're having a blast here in Lacey. We hope you are too. Saints with the ball and a 1-point lead. Skinny. For what? A 3.
Give either of these sides an open look, they're going to make it. They've made a ton of contested shots, but one that open, Skinny, he has time, he can fire it in.
Vikings with the ball down 4. Alcindor, the block. BJ colleague rejected. Alcindor getting rewarded, but he cannot handle it. It is out of bounds, and they're going to say last touch by the Vikings.
I mean, that's the second block of the game for Shaquem Alcindor. Man, both of them have been emphatic.
Stokes to Alcindor. The nice bounce pass to Greeley in the lane. 5-0 run early. Not even a minute gone by in the second half. A quick turnaround jumper off iron. The miss by Jonathan Ned.
If the Saints score here, you got to call a timeout if you're Tony Dominguez.
And the and one potential from Shaquem Alcindor. Count the bucket. Tony Dominguez off the bench, walks toward half court for the Vikings. Can't be pleased with the starts. A minute and 10 seconds gone by, second half.
Yeah, I don't think we're actually going to get a timeout from him, but man, I would right now. You cannot, in a game that's this close, the margins are so thin, you cannot start as we get the first free throw miss from the Saints.
7-0 run for St. Martin's to start half number 2. Can the Vikings stop the bleeding? Johnson in front of the Viking bench. Hornbuckle. Back to Kai Johnson. Ned, the quick skip pass. Vikings turn it over. BJ Colley cannot handle it. And now Western Washington takes a timeout. 18:28 left. All Saints so far in the second half. 50-42 over Western Washington. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. Out of the timeout, Saints basketball, they lead by 8 on a 7-0 run to start the second half. Sean Wally with Scott Gladstone here in Lacey, Washington. Kyle Greeley in the lane for St. Martin's. Can't get it to go. Rebound lost out of bounds to the Saints.
Yeah, and that's Shaquem Alcindor that's forcing that miss there, or that's forcing the mishandle. Oh, never mind. That's, every time the referees discuss, it's gone against the Saints, and I'm not including anything from this game. The women's basketball game before, there was a couple referee discussions that changed out of bounds calls for the Saints.
Johnson going baseline, swings it outside, Hornbuckle. Cauley bumping on Alcindor, goes up strong, can't get it to go. Rebound to Shaquem. Skinny loses it right to Alcindor. He'll be, okay, I'll take the point. The big man kicks it outside to Greeley. Greeley, left hand, money. 10-point lead for St. Martin's.
There was a lot that happened after Shaquem gave that to Kyle Greeley, but point guard Alcindor, maybe an assist for him. Maybe an assist. At least they're 1-for-1 scoring when he plays point guard. Look at it that way.
Menace outside to Ned, down low Cauley. Back to Ned in front of the Viking bench. Baseline, finds Cauley. Vikings trying to go down low, but they're not having a ton of success.
Oh, we're getting another discussion here.
As of now, it's Saint basketball.
They're keeping it that way. They're keeping it. So what happened there is the ball was hit, and then he continued to kind of follow through, and then that motion knocked it out. Dominguez, it was right in front of him and his bench, so of course they're going to disagree, but I think that was the right call. You see kind of stuff like that in soccer too, where somebody takes a shot, and then it kind of rattles around, but in the end it goes out off of the person who ended up taking the shot, even though it was because of the other person.
Saints on a 9-0 run to begin the half. Hornbuckle comes up with the steal. Maybe what the Vikings need to get on the scoreboard here in the second half. Menace splitting the defense outside to Johnson. The chant of defense from the Saints bench. Johnson, 9 to shoot. Swings it around, they get it to Hornbuckle. 6 to shoot. Velp, nowhere to go. 3 to shoot. Hornbuckle will. Falls down, no foul, misses the 3. Back come the Saints. Skinner, Greeley. Thompson outside, Bunn for 3. When it's dropping like it's hot, you keep on rocking.
Yeah. I mean, I knew that was going in. As soon as he caught it, I was like, well, there's another 3. You can chalk it up. That's just the way Brandon Bunn is when he gets an acre of space around him.
Vikings miss the 3. Lucas Holden can't connect. Bunn misses the pass. Back to Western Washington as they're down 13.
Yeah, that was the first real mistake that we've seen from St. Martin's in the second half. The thing that is throwing Western Washington off quite a bit, I think we saw a couple zone defenses that St. Martin's was playing, but now they're in man, and they've been so used to zone in that first half, and I think that's throwing them off quite a bit.
Kai Johnson in the corner, guarded by Bunn. Traveling called on Kai.
That was a close traveling call right there.
Timeout on the floor, 15:45 left. Saints 55, Vikings yet to score in half number 2 on the Saints Digital Network. Back here in Lacey, Washington, Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone, and our entire Saints Digital Network crew. Saints coming out hot in the second half. They're up 13. Skinny resets the offense. 15 to shoot. He's directing traffic. Working on Daniel Hornbuckle. Hornbuckle nearly strips it. Skinny gets it back. Outside, Stokes for 3. That one's short. Holding the rebound to Kai Johnson. Hornbuckle for 3. First second half points for Western Washington.
Yeah, that's how you do it right there. Give it to all reliable Daniel Hornbuckle coming up with a big shot there. And again, exactly what they needed.
Brandon Bunn working on D'Angelo Menace, and traveling is called.
A big part of the offensive struggles to start this half, those first 5 minutes, nearly 5 minutes, scoreless, was the passing. It wasn't necessarily throwing it away from Western Washington, but they weren't hitting the shooters in stride. They weren't hitting it where they need to catch it to then fire it away. With Hornbuckle, you saw right there, they put it right in the breadbasket so he could quickly turn and shoot.
What I've seen is they're doing a lot of that, trying to go down low, and it's not really working.
Yeah, exactly.
Granted, they've got talent down there with Colley and Ned, but look at the first half. It was a lot of Hornbuckle, Menace, Kai Johnson, the three-headed monster at guard, and they've kind of gone away from that to start the second half as Thompson fires from 3. No. Bunn somehow comes away with that. Goes up strong. No foul called. Thompson has it. Vikings trying to take it away from him, and a foul is called.
Yeah. I mentioned offensive rebounding. It's a lot about size and strength, as we might have a bench warning.
Aaron Landon not pleased.
There was something extra made over to that. I don't know exactly if there was something that Aaron Landon got.
Bench warning.
It was a bench warning. Yeah, they don't like it when the entire bench stands up and claps and kind of gets in the face. They think it's kind of instigating something.
Bunn down low using his size. Misses the layup, but now they're calling a foul on Daniel Hornbuckle.
Yeah, that would have been penalty declined if this were football because Tyke Thompson was waiting on the other side with an easy putback.
A foul sending Bunn to the line. 10-point lead for St. Martin's. Make it 11.
Yeah. Look back to the defense when you're talking about they're trying to force that ball down low. That's a big. I think
ask.
it's a big ask, and especially because
when you have Alcindor.
Yeah, you have Alcindor, you have Stokes, you have big guys down there. But the thing is, when they switched into that the man-to-man that they're playing more now, that makes it a lot harder when you have good matchups down there. And again, they're man-to-man here. That 2-3 zone with the high wings that they play, that asks for it a lot more down low, and I think that's what they were coming out trying to beat rather than the man-to-man that they came out and actually saw.
Hornbuckle the jumper. 10-point lead for St. Martin's. Skinny. Offensive foul called on the screen. It looked like a moving screen by Tyke Thompson.
Yeah, he realized he wasn't in a great place to help out his teammate, set a good screen, so he just shot a quick little shimmy to the side, and Hornbuckle felt it out, or maybe it was Menace that drew the foul there, but he realized, he's about to get a screen, get into it quick, and get the foul called.
Ned for 3. Single digits now, the deficit for the Vikings. Saints up 7. Skinny outside to Bunn. Goes baseline, bumps, no foul, but there's Stokes. He can't lay it in. Thompson can't get it. Put back, no. Hornbuckle on the run, doesn't have numbers, doesn't care. Look at the move. Shot short. Rebound to Kai Johnson. He's double teamed. Finds Hornbuckle. Holden's wide open. They don't see him.
This game they're never going to take a break. This is the biggest breath we're going to get to take.
Johnson, baseline, jumper. Too strong, but he's fouled.
Yeah, and this is what I mean. It always feels like a one-possession game because, it was a 12-0 run to start the half, and they were already leading going into the locker room. And now you look at the offensive potential of this Western Washington game. doesn't feel like 7. It does not feel like 7, and it did not feel like 13 when they were up 13 because they can hit you quick, they can hit you in a hurry.
Hafner and Sipe return for St. Martin's. Stokes and Bunn will get a breather. Johnson, second free throw. Good. Vikings cut the lead. Saints lead to 5. 13:05 and counting. Second half here in Lacey, Washington. Skinny using his speed outside to Greeley. Greeley working on Johnson. Saints good ball movement. Thompson open. Pass intercepted. Good D by Holden.
That was a product of too much passing, trying to be too unselfish. Somebody needs to step up, take a shot there when they get an open look.
3 by Velp. Rattles home. Nice run by Western Washington there within 2.
Yep, and now this is the time when Aaron Landon, he's definitely on that timeout alert watch.
Greeley answers, no. Rebound to Holden, ahead to Johnson. Vikings can tie or regain the lead. Velp was open for a second. Johnson wants the lead, and he gets it. The Kai Johnson rooting section here going crazy. 12:05 left. What a game.
Yeah. Just like that. It was 16 minutes on the clock, or 15 minutes on the clock, and there was only one three-pointer made by Western Washington. 3 minutes, they just erase a 10-point deficit like it's nothing.
Hafner answers. Wow.
Hafner is in this gym more than any other Saints player, at least from what I see. It was the day after Thanksgiving, Black Friday morning, and his mom was out here rebounding for him when he was shooting. That's the kind of guy Christian Hafner is in terms of always being ready to take a shot.
Ned, the step back 3, short. Velp, rebound and put back. Body blow, body blow.
Yeah, it already feels like we're in the final round of a heavyweight matchup, but we got a couple more rounds to go, it seems.
Little jump hook in the lane. Hunter Sipe. Saints back in front, 11 minutes left.
That's that offensive craftiness. You don't see that a lot from Hunter Sipe, but hey, if he gets a matchup he likes, if he gets a little route to the basket, pop it right in there.
Saints on the block. The turnaround fadeaway off iron. The miss by Ned. Should say Vikings. Saints the other way. Hunter Sipe again. Saints back in front by 4.
Man, he never stops running the floor.
Vikings wasting no time. Kai Johnson can't get it to fall. You hear the groan from the Kai Johnson family section below us.
What? This is insane.
Thompson, his 3 is short. Right into the arms of Daniel Hornbuckle. Gotta wonder, where's D'Angelo Minnis?
Oh, he stepped out there. That was a tough mistake. Yeah, and you do have to wonder where D'Angelo Minnis is. The thing that I love that we're feeling in this arena, in this energy right now, it is that thing you get in soccer when even though Kai Johnson missed that, there was still applause from some of his students or his cheering section. When you're applauding even a miss and you're just applauding the effort, that's a game that is fun to be at.
10:04 left. Timeout on the floor. Saints 64, Vikings 60. Back in a jiff on the Saints Digital Network. 10:04 remaining in what is a track meet here inside Marcus Pavilion. Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone, the Western Washington Vikings, and the St. Martin Saints. Saints up 4 with the basketball. Sipe, cross court, Hafner. His shot rejected by Kai Johnson.
Yeah, Tony Dominguez and his coaching staff don't have a different scouting report on Christian Hafner than everybody else. He can shoot the lights out, cover him a lot more on 3 than you would any regular Joe.
Skinny, his 3, short. Rebounds to Ned. Kai Johnson down low to Velp. He's got size advantage over Skinny, but Alcindor there to help out. Hornbuckle wide open, finds Holden for 3. 64-63, Saints to answer with a 3. That is short. Ned had the rebound, knocked away. Ahead to Hornbuckle. Holden to the rack, 65-64. First lead in the second half for the Vikings.
Yeah, and taking advantage of the Saints, trying to play a little bit too fast, maybe forcing a shot out there, and you get easy bucket the other way.
Skinny down low to Alcindor. It worked well in the first half. They finally go back to it. Double teamed, and traveling is called. Wait a minute, now one official says travel, the other says maybe not.
Yeah, under the basket. The ref under the basket called a foul there. It was one of those conflicting reports. You and I are both Seahawks fans. We know they fail Mary, a touchdown, an incomplete pass. That was one of those similar situations where they look at each other and they communicate, figure out it was a foul first. That's the reason his feet were shuffled.
Not much argument from the Viking bench. 20 on the shot clock. Alcindor hands off to Skinny. Vikings by 1. Saints looking to retake the lead. Sipe in the lane. His pass stolen away by Kai Johnson. The Olympia Bear alum. Velp open for 3. Off iron. Alcindor the rebounds. Apparently the basketball went over the backboard.
That was a really nice pass from Kai Johnson. I feel bad for him that he's not rewarded with an assist, because that was a complete no-look, Patrick Mahomes-esque, where he just threaded the needle when he wasn't even looking.
Skinny, the floater, no. Hornbuckle jumps way in the air to grab the rebounds, and he is fouled.
Yeah, that was a situation where Skinny's frustrated because he didn't even really do anything. Hornbuckle just kind of came down with the ball, and he just kind of held his hand there stationary, and the ball was kind of brought into it, I think, or at least that's what he thinks, rather than him initiating contact to get a foul call.
8:11 left. Western Washington clinging to a 1-point lead and the basketball. Kai Johnson across half court. Open is Holden. Goes baseline. Quickly double team. Ball out of bounds. Last touch by St. Martin's. 7:59 left in this one. Timeout on the floor. Vikings 65, Saints 64. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. Back here in Lacey, Washington, inside Marcus Pavilion, Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone. Western Washington up 1 with the basketball. Velp open, he'll take the 16-footer and nail it. 67-64 Vikings.
Yeah, there's 4 different Vikings in double figures led by Daniel Hornbuckle with 14.
Alcindor just jumps high enough to get over Nick Velp and drop it down, 67-66. Vikings. Holden in the corner, short. Ball tapped out of bounds by Nick Velp. Saints basketball as they trail by 1.
Taking a quick look at foul trouble. Nobody's in near foul trouble, like about to commit 1 foul and get kicked out of the game. Jaden Nielsen-Skinner's the only player with 3 for either side, and he is out there right now bringing the ball up. Meanwhile, Tyke Thompson has 2, and then there's 4 different players with 2 for Western Washington.
Skinner going up top for Alcindor. He can't put it down, but he corrals it, lays it up and in. Saints back in front, our 13th lead change of the evening.
Yeah, the epitome of a seesaw game right now.
Velp thought about the 3. Outside, Kai Johnson. Open is Ned, and he drops a triple. If the big man's shooting well, look out.
Yeah, 15 points for Ned. But before I can even talk about it, bucket the other way.
Spencer lays it in. We're surprised, not a 3-pointer.
Yeah.
We're tied at 70. Velp's open in the corner. Outside, Johnson. Vikings reset. Hornbuckle. Inside, Holden from the elbow. Vikings back in front. D'Angelo Minnis finally getting set to check back in. Haven't seen a lot of him in the second half. Skinner outside. Sipe, the floater. Tie ball game.
I've called probably 100 games in 2022, and this might be the best one of them to finish out the year. Not basketball games, all different games.
Velp underneath. 74-72, yet another lead change. Skinner left open. He wants in on the 3-party. No. Rebound to Kai Johnson. Vikings up 2 with the ball. Johnson is called for a carry.
Yep. That's a great call by a ref in a game that's so much back and forth, so quick. You kind of want to let him play, but you can't want to let him get away with something like that just because this game is so fun and you want to see everybody get a shot off each possession.
Vikings head coach Tony Dominguez talking to an official. D'Angelo Minnis back in the game for Western Washington. Daniel Hornbuckle getting a break. Bunn back in for the Saints. He'll drive the lane, split the defenders, and spin it through the hoop. Guess what, Scott? We're tied again.
Yeah, and Brandon Bunn's got 20. Big reason why the Saints have continued this good offense throughout. And the Saint defense, to note, is back in man-to-man.
Holden, strong drive with the left, off glass, no. Rebound to Bunn. Saints can take the lead back. 3 on the way. Of course, it is good. Hunter, Sipe, 77-74. Back and forth.
This is something else.
Minnis should have fresh legs, and he is fouled on the pass. 4:44 left. Sipe hit with the foul. That is his second.
Yeah, Velp into double figures now, so he is the 5th Western Washington Viking to score double figures in this game. Part of the reason why Western Washington is so dangerous because they do have so many weapons. They're showing it tonight. The clock did not start there. That's what we're paused for.
Teams will go to their bench, and we will take a pause while they sort this out. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. They took 4 seconds off the game clock. Saints lead by 3. Viking basketball. They get it into Minnis. Minnis double teams. Nowhere to go with it. He finds Velp. Wide open was Holden. They couldn't find him. Ned looking for Velp. Minnis has to save it in the corner. 1 to shoot. He doesn't see it in time, and that'll be a shot clock violation.
That was a great defensive possession, and one of the big things was Hunter Sipe there realizing, hey, he's got a trap. He's got the sideline to help him on one side. Him and Skinny bled probably 3 or 4 crucial seconds off the clock when they got that trap to happen, and it creates enough chaos where they don't see Holden camping out on the lower right block wide open.
Saints with the ball up 3. Nielsen Skinner guarded by Minnis. Hands off to Greeley. Greeley loses the basketball. Nice D by Holden, but Greeley gets it right back. Shot pops out. Holden spins. What a quick spin. Looking for Velp. Intercepted by St. Martin's. Bunn on the run. Greeley layup good. Late call and 1.
Yeah, the vision from Brandon Bunn. I mean, he has the vision like that we have up here where we're standing right next to the camera. He can see the entire layout of the floor almost, and that's a lot more difficult when you're seeing in and out between bodies, and he knew from the second he got that ball he was going to have that lane open. Boom, you drop a bounce pass to Kyle Greeley. He ain't going to miss even if he gets fouled.
Timeout on the floor. Tony Dominguez talking to an official. 3:46 left. Don't go anywhere. Saints by 5. Only 3:46 left. You almost don't want this game to end.
No, I want a third half. I want a fourth half. I want to play all the way till the ball drops at midnight. Let's go.
Hope you're enjoying your New Year's Eve. Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone with you. Thank you for tuning in. Whether you're a Viking fan or a Saint. Greeley, free throw good. Saints quickly back up 6.
Saints coming out a little bit of a full court look here. This is a full court zone of sorts. But then they link up into man-to-man after.
Ned, three-pointer, not even close. Somehow Kai Johnson gets it to go. He hits the deck. Wow. He will head to the free throw line for a potential three-point play.
Yeah, right back at it. And I've said it already tonight. 6 points is not, it's not a regular 6-point lead in a regular game. For either side, 6-point differential, it's all but moot. If it's single digits, within 30 seconds, there's still a chance for either side to win it.
Holden returns. Ned to the bench for Western Washington. Looking for a three-point play the hard way is Kai Johnson. And he won't get it.
That's great boxing out. When you can have a ball bounce and then almost bounce another time off a free throw, that means they essentially just built a wall around that basketball through the box outs.
Champ Spencer cannot hit the three, but there's Bunn, and he travels. The shot will not count.
Bunn's not the biggest guy, right? He's a guard in there, and he's been throwing that pump fake really well. and been able to get guys up, get himself a little bit more space under the basket. That time just shuffled his feet, I guess, when he did it.
Daniel Hornbuckle finds Velp. Velp, left hand in the lane, off glass, and good. What a drive by Nick Velp. 2-point ball game, 2:50 and counting here in Lacey, Washington. Who will end 2022 with a victory and stay undefeated in GNAC play? The Saints drop another 3. Champ Spencer puts them up by 5. Johnson outside. They swing it around to Menace. D'Angelo, his 3. Off back iron. Saints the rebounds. 2:15 left.
That's a great cut by Kyle Greeley there. He nearly got himself a wide open look under the basket, but Brandon Bunn, realizing they don't need to rush anything, and didn't pass it.
Brandon Bunn has the ball poked away. 2 minutes to go. 7-5 now to shoot. Skinny. 2 to shoot. He gets it up, off window, and in.
That was ridiculous. That was ridiculous from Skinny. He just took it. He had 10 seconds on the shot clock, just dribbled it all the way down, and that is a heartbreaker if you're a Western Washington fan.
Hornbuckle, the 3 is short off front iron. Saints looking comfortable with a 7-point lead inside a minute 30 left.
Yeah, the Saints last year beat Western Washington both times during the regular season. That was the first time that's happened since 2008. And you could tell Western Washington came out with this game wanting to prove last year wrong, wanting to come out with everything they got. But it's so hard to win on the road anywhere in college basketball, but especially to a packed Marcus Pavilion on New Year's Eve. It's hard to finish it through.
2 to shoot. Will Bunn get it off in time? He does, but it's an air ball. Shot clock violation. Time not on their side, but the Vikings have the ball back. Down 7. 1:04 left. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. We tried to catch our breath. A minute 4 left. Sean Wally, Scott Gladstone, thank you for tuning in on this New Year's Eve. Viking basketball, they're down 7. Just 60 seconds left. Both teams undefeated in conference play early on in the season. Nick Velp outside. Ned for 3. Off the right side of the rim. Saints rebounds. And the bench likes it for St. Martin's, and the hometown crowd does as well.
I mean, this is that was just fundamental basketball right now. They're saying limit three-pointers, just force them to take as long as possible. That's really what the objective right now for the Saints is. The fact that you made them shoot a fairly tough three-pointer, and for once it seemed like they missed one, and then box out your man. Box out your man, and that's exactly what Champ Spencer did. He boxed out his guy, and they really should have trapped that quicker in the corner. They really should have trapped that quicker in the corner. They might have had Skinny.
Holden fouls Greeley to stop the clock. Man, such a fun game here on this New Year's Eve. If you got your calendar handy, January 26th. These two teams do battle again in less than a month up north in Bellingham, Washington, inside Carver Gym.
And a little over a month after that, I'll tell you what, if it's another version of this game that also happens in Bellingham for the GNAC crown and a ticket to the NCAA tournament, I don't think very many neutrals would be that upset about it, because this is fun basketball that we saw here tonight. But it looks right now this could be hard for Western Washington to overcome this deficit. Time
ticking away. Johnson, a high arcing three, and he drops it down. Saints with a 6-point lead. Vikings and Tony Dominguez and his coaching staff want to talk things over. Just a 30-second timeout, and that Viking coaching staff led by Tony Dominguez in his 11th season. But Scott, his 28th at Western Washington overall. Assistant coach has been there a very long time as well. David Dunham in his 7th season. Bob Hofstetter and Otavio Jude both in their 10th season.
Well, and the reason, having that consistency there is so good, and it's something that, I've already brought it up. I said there was 5 players in double digits. Now there's 6, because the difference at this level a lot of times is depth, especially when you get into conference play, because, these guys played an overtime game down in Monmouth, Oregon 2 days ago, and now they're coming out here. They're getting a track meet up and down this floor, and if you don't have the depth that they have and the guys that can score and the different weapons that they have, they might fall out of this game a little bit quicker against the St. Martin squad that, played a heck of a game the other way. And also, you see that with Aaron Landon's ability to kind of recruit the transfer portal, get guys that have a little bit more veteran leadership and knowledge of playing college basketball to him. His ability to do that is really well, and it's something that, the longer he's around at St. Martin's, he can then tap in and get a deep bench like Tony Dominguez has, where, they're in this game because not one guy stepped up, but over and over. Ned, a D1 transfer. Then you got Velp, you got Hornbuckle, Kai Johnson, Lucas Holden came off the bench and did really good. And, of course, D'Angelo Minnis. They have those guys, but at the end of the day, it was just I think home court had a lot to do with this game, and that's why I'm really interested to see what happens up in Bellingham on the court of the Vikings.
Saints to inbound. Bunn has it. Double teamed. Splits it. Time ticking away. And the Vikings foul to stop the clock.
If you're a Vikings fan, that is frustrating because you just bailed out of a possible 10-second violation. You just bailed the Saints out of it right there. You've got to just lay off. And if they get over the timeline, then, at that point you foul. But right there, because the shot clock was up, I don't know exactly how close that was, but it was within a second or two of being a 10-second violation.
Sipe makes it a 7-point game, which it's never over till it's over, but getting over that 6-point advantage.
Making it a 3-possession game.
Tough mountain to climb for Western Washington inside 20 seconds. Kai Johnson, his pass nearly intercepted, but Hornbuckle catches. His 3 is off the iron. Vikings get the rebound. Inside 10 seconds, Minnis, his 3 off the back rim. Final 5 seconds, Kai Johnson, his 3 does fall. 2 seconds left, and it's a 5-point game, and that is how this fantastic GNAC battle will end. St. Martin's 89, Western Washington 84.
Yeah, and I'm seeing, the Kai Johnson supporter section in front of us, the Western section across, obviously bummed their team lost. One, they realize there's a rematch coming up. This isn't the end of the world losing this game. But second, they realize what a great game we got. 89-84, that's a big score on the scoreboard, right? But we saw some great defense. We saw Shaquem Alcindor with 2 big blocks. We saw clutch bucket after clutch bucket and difficult bucket after difficult bucket that, there was no defense really that could stop it unless you're maybe Yao Ming or something. This was just a gutsy effort from both sides. And it was cool. I just looked down there, Kai Johnson and Hunter Sipe, 2 guys that both came to play tonight. They had a long hug up there, and I think Hunter Sipe is going to come up and talk with us up here. Kai Johnson, it was a homecoming for him. He got a great support out here, and he had a chip on his shoulder because, this is a hometown team that kind of slept on him, as did a lot of schools, because they just couldn't expect what he could do. But tonight he showed that he could ball. He's one of the best in the GNAC, and man, this was fun to watch from start to finish. It was a great game.
We'll take one final break. Come on back with head coach Aaron Landon and a St. Martin's player after their 5-point victory, 89-84, to remain undefeated in GNAC play. Back after this on the Saints Digital Network. Sean Wally here with Saints head coach Aaron Landon after the 5-point victory over Western Washington. Have you caught your breath yet, Coach?
Not quite. I lost it because I ran up those stairs over there to see my daughter, and I'm out of shape. So it was one staircase that did me in. Game was exciting, but truth be told, it was the staircase. That's what did me in.
What do you tell these guys about firing from beyond the arc? So many three-pointers, a lot of them made this afternoon and evening by both squads.
Yeah, they can really shoot it. That's a really, really good team. I just tell our guys, sometimes we practice shooting so much. If you've got a deep shot, you're not close to the three. If you're open, chuck it up. Sometimes we spend so much time in the half court trying to be smart and cute and figure stuff out, and we end up with a bad shot or a turnover. So if you're open from 25 feet, I think we've got 6 guys that are in the top 20 in the GNAC in three-point field goal percentage. Those guys need to shoot it every single time that they're open. Threes give us a great chance to go get on the offensive glass too. I thought that's an area that we've been slowly improving on. So yeah, we love the three. We're not shy about that. It's good for us. There's going to be nights where you can't hit threes, and that's why we talk defense so much, and that's what we'll talk about on Monday, because just didn't think that we did a great job defensively tonight, especially early on in the game.
What does it say? I know it's early on in conference play, but you stay undefeated and you're right there with MSUB.
Billings is such a great program. When you win your first conference game, or for us, I start talking about, our conversation is, what does 1-0 do for you? Because we just want to stay locked in on the present. So you win your first conference game and you say, hey, if you just go 1-0, you're in first place in the GNAC. And so that's what we talk about. But our guys are smart and they follow the GNAC, and obviously this is a really good team. They've got a great resume regionally. They beat Point Loma. They've been really, really good all year. So we know that there's some larger implications, but we're just focused on the GNAC. It's one of the best teams in the GNAC, and we won the game today, and we're 1-0 on Saturday, and we're still in first place with Billings.
What's the message to the team when you get back in the locker room?
To celebrate this safely, because it's New Year's Eve. we didn't do some of the things that we've been working on, like defensively tonight. And so, of course, we'll jump back into that on Monday, try to continue to get better. But this is a special win. We don't love the number 84 defensively. They hit a couple crazy shots. So 84 is probably not the right number to measure ourselves on tonight defensively. But it's so hard to win in this conference. When it was my first year was a 20-game GNAC schedule. And I don't know, I think we won 4 games. So I learned
come a long way.
I learned the hard way. It's really hard to win games. So we always clap, we always celebrate, and I want them to stretch that out into New Year's Day and just enjoy themselves because we got a long ways to go.
Coach, congratulations on the victory, and
Thank
have
you
yourself
so much.
a safe
Come here, Hunter.
and happy New Year. And
Let me say one last thing.
Hunter,
This guy who's just totally ignoring you right now.
right?
Kai Johnson's a great player, local kid.
For sure. Olympia High School.
Was out here trying to make us look stupid tonight. But Western Washington, they put on social media channels, they called it the homecoming game for him. And it was, and he played well. He's a very good player, so credit him. And I was trying to put a log on his fire. This whole season is his homecoming, and it's his last dance.
Right.
So enjoy that. That's a signature win at home. He had all of his high school coaches and stuff here, family, teammates. Just love it for this guy. He also played well, but once I heard all the extra stuff that was going on, I knew that he would belong up here if we won. So celebrate this guy.
Coach Aaron Landon, have a great and safe New Year. It's what we welcome in Hunter Sipe. Wow.
How we doing?
Hunter, what did that feel like down there for you?
Yeah, it feels good. Adrenaline's still going a little bit, so but nothing beats a win at home, especially against Western. So I know there's a lot of history between these schools, but yeah, it feels good to win in my hometown. So
18 points for you on the night. Just 2 3-pointers. So many threes from both sides tonight.
Yeah, no, it was definitely going back and forth. I know Western, they usually are pretty high scoring, and couldn't outscore us tonight though, which was good. We had a lot of threes that fell, and when we get hot, we hit a lot of shots between our starters and our bench. We go really deep, so when we get hot, we get going. So,
what was it like playing against Kai Johnson here on this floor?
Kai's like a brother to me. I love that dude to death. Nothing like for basketball at least. When I come out here, I compete, get on the court, and it feels really good to win. But before the game. Still my dude, but during the game, don't know that guy. But I love him to death. So,
New Year's Eve, any big plans?
Nothing much. Just celebrate with my teammates. Just keep the chemistry going. I don't think we play for a week, so just have a good week of practice and bring in the new year the right way with some more wins. So,
awesome. January 7th, yes, your next game will be at Western Oregon. You got some time to marinate on this one and enjoy it. Man, what a track meet this game was tonight. So many shots. It was back and forth all afternoon. What does it say about the entire conference that these are 2 of the better teams in the conference? MSUB still undefeated as well, but you learned last year's season that, man, any team in the GNAC can beat anybody any night.
Yeah, no, I think that's why this league is so unique in a way, just because, every game it's like it's a blood game. Like we might be close, might be down by a lot. It's a game of runs. It's definitely a league where you can come in any night and lose to anybody or beat anybody. So I think that's kind of what we try and preach to each other is just stick together as a team. And if we work hard and do all the gritty stuff to win, then we will. So, yeah.
Who won the fan battle? Who had more in attendance? Your friends and family or Kai Johnson?
I think we share a lot. So
okay.
We share a lot. So I think I'm going to let you be the judge of that one. But, a lot of people from the Olympia community out supporting. Both went to Olympia High School, obviously. Just really thankful to have supporters who love both of us. And, it's awesome. So
claim them all.
Yeah,
awesome.
For sure.
Hunter, have a safe and happy New Year.
Thank you so much.
Good luck tomorrow or next weekend on the road. Enjoy this one and great game tonight.
Awesome. Appreciate it. Go Saints.
Hunter Sipe after the 5-point victory here inside Marcus Pavilion, 89-84 over Western Washington. For Scott Gladstone, for Zane running camera, for our good friend, oh my goodness gracious, Sydney. Wow, she's going to shoot me. producing our great broadcast. Thank you so much for joining us on this New Year's Eve. Be safe, be happy, and welcome in 2023 the right way. Saints did that here this evening, 89-84 over Western Washington.